For 2 years, Foreign Correspondent has been tracking an incredible wildlife success story. At a time when the threats are growing and the extinction crisis is deepening.
We are, at the moment, winning the war against poaching.
I'm proud because I'm doing a good job for the country.
Here in Zimbabwe, conservationists and wildlife warriors have done something extraordinary. The endangered rhino is back from the brink.
Now it's about spreading that success beyond our borders.
I'm on my way to the Malilangwe Trust. It's a not-for-profit private wildlife reserve, teeming with animals, and one of the greatest concentrations of rhinos in Africa. I was born in Zimbabwe and I grew up in Australia, and it is such a pleasure to be back in my homeland. So many familiar sights and sounds and even smells. My guide is Sarah Clegg, one of Malilangwe's resident ecologists.
We've got a group of 5 white rhinos.
Sarah keeps track of the black and white rhino populations here.
What do you think of the body condition?
The body condition is good.
It's good.
Yeah.
Trophy hunters in the 19th century decimated southern Africa's rhino numbers. Waves of poaching over the past 4 decades almost wiped them out again.
It's a constant threat. The problem lies in the fact that the value of the horn is so much more than the value of the living animal with its horn on. Extinction is not theoretical, it's real. In the last couple of years, we've seen the near extinction of the northern white rhino with only 2 females left, no males left. And I think it's a disgrace that this can happen. We need to make sure that it doesn't happen again.
Today, Malilangwe is one of the most successful rhino conservation projects in Africa.
This is a special sighting. She's one of our first rhino. She's had about 10 calves here.
Sat Savalani is a 36-year-old black rhino.
It's always wonderful, it's always exciting, especially when they give you a bit of a charge like that.
In 1998, Malilangwe started with 28 black and 28 white rhinos. Now, hundreds of rhinos roam freely here.
Happy animals can produce more babies that can grow populations, and that's what we need with rhinos.
It's day 1 of Rhino Ops, a week-long mission to gather vital data on the herd.
Every year, at least twice a year, we select rhino that are about to leave their mother so that we can mark them in a way that we'll be able to identify them for the rest of their lives.
The team is searching for a black rhino cow named Gongani and her most recent calf, who is thought to be 17 months old.
In an ideal world, we wouldn't touch these animals. But because of the challenges we have nowadays with poaching and with the reduction in habitat, the more that we know about these animals, the better we're able to protect them.
The calf is darted with an immobilizing drug and will soon drop to the ground.
Okay, so the helicopter's hovering just over here with the rhinos being darted. It's just underneath the helicopter.
The team must work fast.
What's the pulse? 84.
The drug can suppress the respiratory system, so the calf is given oxygen.
Chrissy, how's the oxygen? Staying the same.
Yeah, I think so. Just go for it.
A unique identifying pattern is carefully cut into the calf's ears, a process known as notching.
Can you tell how old this calf is?
Yeah, this one is 17 months, but the horn was longer. It was 19 and a half.
And is the mother of this calf roaming around here somewhere?
Yeah. The mothers don't go far. You see them just nearby while we opt.
Gongani's calf is almost free to go. First, she's injected with a drug to reverse the sedative.
I've given a put out.
They need to be up in the vehicle because they've got a far more aggressive temperament.
The Black Rhinos do.
Yeah,
Even a calf.
Even a tiny calf.
Moments later, the calf comes around and heads off to find Mum. Her painted ID number will wear off in a few days.
It's in the south. Yeah, we're going to go straight to another one.
In the south of the reserve, members of an elite anti-poaching unit, the Malilangwe Scouts, are tracking a white rhino mum and her calf.
I can say maybe 90% of the Zimbabweans, they've never seen a rhino. They just see it in the television.
Sergeant Patrick Mangondo is in the lead.
Most of the people outside, when they see a rhino, they see money like, hey, someone has dropped the money on the ground. Everyone needs to know these animals are not for being poached and make money through them.
Armed criminal gangs run highly organised poaching operations. Poachers have breached the Malilangwe boundary 10 times and killed 3 rhinos.
A poacher is a dangerous human being. For they kill rhinos every day. It's a war, because if they come in, they will be bringing war to us. To be a scout, you are somebody who is patriotic, someone who is taking care of the community, someone who is proud of what he's doing. I didn't think that I will end up being someone like this.
Doesn't have a favorite meal or anything, but when it's done by me, it's his favorite.
Patrick and his wife, Tari, live at Malilangwe.
Do you worry about Patrick because his job is dangerous?
Yeah, I do. He's like always in my prayers every day. With the hardships here, having a job, it's quite an important thing. They are not easy to find. So once you have a job, you're like, oh, thank you, Jesus.
If we're longer, might end up being eliminated before.
He's got a soft spot. He tries to be a bit stubborn, but yeah, he's got something. He's got a very soft spot. I mean, yeah.
You guys look happy together.
Are you happy with me?
You're my happiness. That's right.
Malilangwe Scouts patrol the 500 square kilometre reserve every day. Every rhino sighting is documented in logbooks, along with a record of each rhino's unique ear notch pattern. The Scouts replicate the appearance of the ears on a leaf.
You're just copying. Yes, notches. Because already I've got left and right already. Perfect. Yeah.
Many of the men recruited to join the Scouts were once subsistence poachers, hunting small animals for meat.
Yeah, we're becoming a poacher when we are starting to heading the cattle, and my brother teaching me how to hunt.
Did you also eat the meat that you killed?
Yes, we eat the meat.
And why were you poaching? Why did you need to do this?
Mostly Shangaan people, they like too much to hunt. It looks like culturally.
Until what age did you grow up here?
22 years, most of my life here.
All of your childhood?
Yes.
Here?
An hour's drive from Malilangwe is the village of Popoma. It's home to First Mafanele, a 7-year veteran of the Scouts.
Yes, we grew up in this house.
In this one?
This one.
Were you born in this house?
Yes.
And how many siblings did you have sharing the house with you?
Four. My parents also. It was difficult, very, very difficult.
Can you tell me why?
Because sleeping in the house like this one, in winter times, there's no warm inside here.
It's cold.
It's cold.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you guys, you and your brothers and sisters, did you have enough to eat when you were children?
Not so much.
Why did you become a Malilangwe Scout?
I did it because I wanted to feed my family.
Next door to Malilangwe, along the Rundi River, lies Gonarezhou National Park. It was once home to a thriving black rhino population, until poachers killed every last one. Last year, Malilangwe joined other wildlife reserves in a plan to return black rhinos to the national park.
It's a terrible thing to have to go in and move animals around and take them away from what they're familiar with and from who they're familiar with. But it has become a necessity in the world we live in now. And if you're going to put an animal through that stress, your homework needs to have been done to give that population a chance that it requires. Hey, Exodus. Brought us a book. Thank you. And was he eating anything? I'm just interested to know what he was eating. Just walking.
Walking, yeah.
Okay.
The shelves of Malilangwe's research office are stacked with logbooks dating back to 1998.
When you've got this accumulation of decades of data, it then becomes really, really powerful.
If there was one headline insight that you've gleaned over 20-odd years of working with rhinos, what would it be, do you think?
You get to see these deep relationships that they have with other rhinos, and you realize that there's so much more to them than just a feeding, surviving, mechanistic creature. Their relationships are complicated, and they're obviously important for their happiness.
Of these thousands and thousands of books full of rhino data, what you've extrapolated over the last 20-odd years is that rhinos need love.
Exactly. Just like humans need love.
Yeah.
Rhinos need love, and so do all animals.
Yeah, it makes perfect sense. Drawing on their research, Sarah and her team carefully planned how to best relocate the black rhinos.
They can't just put any old couple together, so they just won't breed unless they're happy.
Okay.
It's not just the animals that you're sending as the group that you need to consider keeping their stability. You need to make sure that the animals you're leaving behind also maintain their social stability.
Right, that you're not creating a vacuum there, or
an emotional vacuum. But you guys, you think I'm mad?
Yeah.
They're such a complex species, Black Rhino. They've got this reputation of being bad-tempered and dangerous, and they are, but I think it's mostly that they're just such emotional creatures. Just like in humans, a lot of the prickly people, they're not really horrible, they're just insecure.
And you feel that way about black rhinos?
I do.
Yeah.
I do. I think they're misunderstood.
Paradzanai Mafanu is a wildlife scout and tracker.
Just the one who was just another scout.
So we better not bother him too much. He chased and caught one of our scouts a couple of years ago.
Did the scout survive?
Yeah, keep very still. You've got a better chance than if you move because they pick up on movement.
Is this rhino going to charge, Sarah?
You need to know what you're going to do. So you know you're going to get behind the tree.
Go.
So he was just coming up to investigate. When they get nervous, they tend to get a bit violent. So today was our lucky day.
Oh, yeah, it's a lucky day.
We didn't feel the horn today.
Yeah. Because it's the one.
In May 2021, 29 black rhinos made history when they were relocated to Gonarezhou National Park. For the first time in 30 years, rhinos were back.
It's been a year and a half now since the rhinos were relocated. I'm very curious to see how they've settled in their new home. So I'm heading to Gonarezhou now. I'm with Patrick from the Malilangwe Scouts, who's also keen to see how they're settling in.
The national park has its own team of rangers. To find the rhinos within the 5,000 square kilometre park, the rangers tune in to transmitters in the animals' horns. Richard Palela learned his rhino protection skills from Patrick and the Malilangwe Scouts.
Zero, but I don't sleep gas when I Africa.
Black rhinos are notoriously shy and they love hiding in thick bush, so it's actually quite difficult to track them. We think we're getting close. Hopefully we'll see one shortly. We are approaching the mother with a baby. What do you see? I'm seeing that the baby is suckling the milk. The baby's feeding from the mother. Yeah. I need to be careful because she had something. So she's trying to figure out what's happening. wind of us or heard us, and she just took off like a freight train through the bush. I did catch just the tiniest glimpse of her little calf, and what's so exciting about that was that that's a calf that was born here at Gonarezhou after the translocation, which is an incredible sign that this population is settling in, they're breeding, and they're starting to call this place home.
The calf is one of 5 born at Gonarezhou since the translocation. The first rhino babies here in over 30 years.
I'm happy with that, and I've got great hope for the Gonarezhou translocation to be an enormous success. It's what we all aim for in our careers as conservationists. It's a wild park. So being able to put rhino back into that park is like waking it up again.
At Malilangwe, these local boys are part of a conservation leadership initiative called the Junior Rangers.
They are coming from families, but underprivileged families. They're trying to teach people in a different way. Like it's an awareness thing of sending a message to the community that we need, this conservation thing is very, very, very serious.
Why aren't you running today?
Because I'm getting old.
It's the last day of rhino ops, and the team are doing a checkup on a mature rhino named Swotsvo.
So this guy's 17 years old. White rhino can weigh up to about 2 tons as adult bulls.
Coming up, guys. Everyone on the shoulder here. Together, okay?
His extraordinary weight means the team has to move him so he can breathe more easily.
1, 2, push. Keep it, keep it. Well done.
Patrick has brought the Junior Rangers to see a rhino up close.
Sure, this is the first time you've ever been up close to a rhino. Okay, and like Patrick said, this one's a black rhino. These are critically endangered, so there are not too many of them left because of poaching. So this is a very special opportunity. It's important to us that you see a rhino up close, because if you don't know something, it's very difficult to love it. And if you don't love something, it's very difficult to care for it. When Patrick and I are old, we won't be able to do anything, and it's up to you guys to look after these animals for us. And just like you, each of you have a name. So for the rhino, each rhino is given a name. Okay.
Like maybe a child is being named by the parent. Scouts are the ones who give names to the rhinos because it's like babies to them.
And this rhino is a special rhino because you came to it. So we've decided to give it a very special name. Patrick?
Chingele.
We've decided to call it Chingele because it's where a lot of you guys are from, the orphanage that you guys are from.
Understand?
Yes.
The one with... We want them to prepare themselves for the future. We want them to go out there and preach the word about conservation and wildlife. We want them to be respected in the community. We want for them to help us change the world into a better world.
Well, I love the wildness of the place. And I love that we have the capability to look after it the best way that we can. Well, I said Malilangwe, it's not just about the rhino or the elephants or the lions, it's about all the animals, you know. It's about the giraffe, it's about the zebra, the crocs, the birds, the plants. Keeping them all alive and keeping them all in balance and doing what they should do naturally.